How's everyone doing here? Well, I know I said I was going to have a video of us out there at UTV Unleashed, but yeah, I didn't get one. We were having such a good time, I absolutely forgot to take a video. So, kind of sucks, but the side-by-side blog guys kind of had a video, and it was a lot of fun. I think there was like 3 other Talons out there. It did good. I mean, obviously the suspension is lacking, as I've talked about, and many others online seem to be talking about. But we beat the snot out of it, and I mean, I let probably 8, 9 different people that I didn't know just take it out and rip it, because they'd never driven one. So she seen some serious abuse. All the kids took it out to the drag strip, and we watched them make lap after lap. It probably went down the drag strip 70 times. You know, just getting a good use out of it. It's no race machine, that's for sure, but it holds its own against the other naturally aspirated machines, and you know, a couple turbos that are not set up properly, stockers, it takes them to the end of the track to reel her in. So why do I have my hood off? Well, I bought, take you over here, sorry about the mess here, I've been so busy with stuff. So I bought this deal a while ago, actually when I bought the machine, so geez, 4 months ago, and I never put it on. I finally bought the sub harness that goes with it, and so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting my switch panel in. So for those of you that haven't installed one before, there are some install videos out there, so I'm not going to really beat it up a whole lot, but it's pretty straightforward as far as it goes. And I don't know if you can see up in here. Let me see if I can turn my light ski on here. I don't know where that's at. But anywho, up in here in the, let me see if I can get a flashlight for you real quick, guys. Oh, you gotta take your center console apart. If you never had these little guys out, you gotta push them in. This is how they look when they're got the panel locked down, and then you basically take a screwdriver and push on the center, and it'll pop in. Then you can pull them out. Pretty nifty little guys. Seems kind of self-explanatory, but you know, if you've never torn one apart, it's not really that self-explanatory. What was I looking for? Ah, here we go. Oh yeah, the Silver Lake thing. Another reason why is the old trusty 2nd gen Dodge diesel. So the weekend was a little crappy. The trip started out, I bought this truck, just a little backstory on it. It's raining out, I'd show you. So it's got a flatbed on it. So I bought this truck strictly for using at Silver Lake sand dunes. The same reason why I built a tow bar setup to go in there. And our dunes don't allow you can't ride on the roads around there. So, and they got vouchers, things that you got to get to pull your trailer in the parking lot, which kind of sucks. You got to get up really early, and if they're out, they're out. You got to go on a standby list. So I like to make my stuff what they call dune ready. You can tow bar a vehicle in, buy another vehicle that's ready to go on the dunes. So I bought that diesel flatbed pretty much for going to the dunes, and you know, I use it for carrying around steel and stuff like that, and it's kind of just my woods truck. Fortunately, on the way out there, I picked up a terrible vibration, and the CV joint in it took a crap in the front drive shaft, so I had to pull that out, which was going to limit my ability to take it out in the dunes, but I was still going to do that. We made it over there Thursday night, and because my wife took the RV out there Wednesday night. And boy, it was crappy. We got out there, no problems. got up in the morning, decided to, well, we made breakfast, did all the normal stuff you do when you get up, visited with everybody. We had a bunch of friends up there. And, of course, I go to start the second gen up to get ready to load the four-wheeler on the flatbed and hook the tow bar up on the Talon and put flags on everything so we're ready to go. Well, she wouldn't start, so I was like, oh, this is awesome. So not a big deal. Didn't spend a whole lot of time with it. We're up there to enjoy ourselves. So I said, I'll look at it later. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's my everyday driver or anything like that. Does suck because it kind of made an inconvenience. So we sardined a 4-seater RZR and my Talon on an 18-foot trailer. On my 18-foot trailer. And we put a quad in the back. I will add a picture of this hillbilly-ass setup that we did. Granted, it's only taken it 3 miles down the road, but it took a lot of creativity, we'll say. We had to use the ramps to extend the front, strap them to the deck, and drive mine way out on the ramps. And it was we took a little damage from his flag mount. You know, not a big deal. You can see they were pretty close. I just told them, run into it, dude. It's just you know, whatever that is, a $30 cover. I really don't care. This is a toy. It's got scratches, and if you looked at it, I'm not afraid to put scratches on this thing or roll it or do whatever. I don't really care. It's for my enjoyment. So anyways, that was our trip. So things were a little hectic. Forgot my video camera. And forgot my nice camera for taking pictures, but anyways, we really enjoyed ourselves. Long story short, great weekend, super busy weekend out there. Lots of fast stuff, lots of high-end, big money UTVs, pretty machines that I could never own. Well, I could own one, but I like to use my toys, you know, and to each their own. If that's your thing, they were beautiful to look at, but, you know, you can tell they don't do zero trail riding with them things. They go out to the dunes and ride them and then polish them. So hats off to them guys for building cool stuff, but I used to do that stuff when I was younger. Now I just want to use it. Not that I don't have a couple cool cars or stuff like that, but that's a little different. So anyways, I got me a flashlight here to show you guys my, I got OCD and ADD. So up in here, you will see, ooh, that's pretty tough. You will see above the blue thing, there's a connector, there's two red things on the upper and lower of it. You can see it just to the left of the blue piece there. That is the back of your cigarette lighter. So the accessory plug plugs into that. Then you wind up a bunch of stuff that you don't use, evidently. And then this comes out, as you can see. This actually goes up into the back. This wire goes up to where you got to do an 1.5 inch hole. You lose your compartment here, which kind of sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. I got some bags and stuff coming for this thing. And, so yeah. So, then, this long dad that I have here strung out, that you can see, goes that far. And you see it's got a fuse here and a plug that plugs into it. I'm not sure why they did that. It's kind of redundant, but I guess so. This runs through your console. You can run it. I haven't done that yet. Obviously, I'm getting ready to. So you gotta take the console out and run it through that on your main wiring harness. Boy, she's dirty down there, ain't she, boys? Whoosh. Dang. All right. And then back to the battery, which is under this cover, if you didn't know that. On your driver's side, right under there. So then this guy goes positive and negative. And that must be why they have the plug there, so you can disconnect it if you need to. I haven't really looked real close at that, how I'm going to do that. But anyways, we want to get this switch panel. Obviously, that's the start of it. I've got some more switches coming. I really like these mic tuning, MIC tuning switches. They're laser engraved. So I ordered everything for a winch. What the heck I said I order? LED light bar, interior light, and what the heck else did I don't know. Anyways, you can see that it says rock lights there. So guess what I bought? We're getting ready to take a trip up to Drummond Island. I bought some LED rock lights, high power, 8 pods, by Auto Power Plus. It is Android or iPhone capable to run. It's all plug in and play. So these things all, so you get eight in this kit of these things, and they got these nice rubber mounts. Everything is water sealed. Pretty nice little setup. So you got flat ones, and then these ones here are curved. So you can't, if you're gonna put it on a roll cage or some bars underneath the thing, underneath your hood or wherever, they got them too. So these seal the things up, and they also dampen the vibrations, so the light. Pretty nice little setup. We'll see how it works here when I get it done. Obviously, I just started that. The switch plate comes with a voltage gauge, which is all cool. And that's all part of the harness. You basically, these are all for your switches. These little guys here, which I didn't buy the other ends that plug into these. This is for your voltage, positive and negative, these two. So I'll probably just end up snipping them and soldering and shrink wrapping. That should work just as well, I think anyways. And that's what I'm going with. So yeah, so I'm getting ready to drill some holes, get some stuff disconnected. Looks like Shock Therapy should have I ordered springs for this guy, and their dual rate kit. I'm not going to send the shocks out right now to get valving done. I would like to, but I've still got a couple of good rides, and I don't really want to have it down because they're a long ways from me. So I ordered their spring kit, and it's kind of cool. You know, you tell them your weight and the passenger weight and the cargo weight and the weight of your tires if they're stock. Now I am going to be upgrading tires, and I know I've been saying that, but I just been waiting for these to wear a little bit, and I almost pulled the trigger on a set of 30s last week, but I just keep going between 30 and 32s. I just wonder, I'm just giving it time. I want to see somebody take out the clutches with the set of 32s, and I honestly haven't got to talk to anybody personally that's put 32s on there. All the guys that were out at Silver Lake that had these, Side by Side blog was out there, and they say that 32s they're running are super noticeable, but they're running a really heavy setup, you know, and they'll tell you that, you know, it's a super heavy setup. So my thoughts are to run terabytes. One is the 32s run a little bit smaller, like the terabytes, Tusk Terabyte tires run smaller, so the 32s actually measure like a 31, I guess. So kind of a compromise, you know. I really like the Carnivore tires. My buddy just put them on his RZR. Super soft, probably work great. But I do some road riding, and the Carnivores, I can tell you just by feeling the tread compound that they are not going to last. You know, sometimes we'll ride, you know, 8 miles on pavement, you know, and even these tires got chopped up from up in the UP riding on some of the hard pack stuff because they're a pretty soft compound. But I mean, I like the Carnivores for trail riding for sure. Them things They bite. They work good in the sand. And obviously for rock crawling, they work very good. So just a couple upgrades we're doing right now. I also replaced my broken mirror with I kind of flipped it and put it up in here so it's not in my line of sight, just so you guys can see. Got a nice little 2-inch bar clamp to hold it. What the heck is that? What brand is that? Oh, it's a Tusk UTV mirror. You can use them as side mirrors also, I guess. It seems kind of big for that. But I seem to like it, and hopefully it works better than this one. This was like 80 bucks. You can see she's pretty dented up there. That is from my head hitting that, folks. And breaking. I got lucky I didn't get no stitches from that. But whatever. Actually, that just happened for me getting in the car. It wasn't even and no, I wasn't drinking. I just jumped in the car real quick. I'm not a super tall guy, but I'm 6'2", 230. Not a small fella. And I just kind of jumped in there and bam, I hit my head on there and cracked it. And I was like, oh, geez. So another thing I bought. Now I'm going to put this on here. Is a Dragonfire removable LED dome light. So here it is, folks. I am not going to put this in my car. This thing just slides in there, and it's not going to stay. There's no way. Plus, it's ugly as heck. And you got to hit it like a bunch of times. Oops, sorry, I just blinded y'all. This thing's junk. So that was a waste of whatever it was. Garbage, you know. I guess it works, but I don't know. It's not what I was expecting something that was sleeved on one side so it could only slide in one way or not. I guess I didn't read, knowing that it had this on the side. I just wanted one light. I could reach up and push the thing. And at least if it was sleeved on one side, I could mount it kind of on an angle so it held it in a little better. I don't know. I already bent these tabs in to try and make it hold a little bit better. I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing. It just feels cheap. I don't know. So first experience with Dragonfire. I guess it works. I'm not putting it on my machine. So that's it. You know, I'm not super picky, but seems like it's not that great of a product. So anyways, fellas, that's and ladies, sorry, that's a little update on what we got going on. Nothing much. I was hoping to have some action stuff. We did build the track out back. I added some. I brought home an excavator this last weekend and added a little bit to it. Nothing crazy, because I put 500 foot of drain tile in at this house and a ditch, and you know, I had to do that in a day and a half because obviously we used all of our excavators during the week. So I hurried up, brought it home, and busted it out real quick, and did a little. I let my kid do some digging out there. So you know, that's not very productive, but he seemed to enjoy it anyways. So no damage. Still leaking in the rear. I don't know if I call it a leak. It's not leaving a drip. It's just weeping. It's like wet, and it's still overfull from when the dealer did the service. So no big deal there, I guess. This cheap ass $18 or $20 box seems to be holding up pretty well. I mean, we beat this thing through the whoop-de-doos this weekend, or out at Silver Lake, and just it seems to be doing what it's there for. I mean, aside from the ugly orange bungee tie that I got on there, which is, I thought about putting a black one on there, but then I didn't think I'd have it that long, but I'm just kind of waiting for prices to drop. Man, these things are going cheap now. Just to talk about that briefly, Christ, they got some of these dealers $16.5 on an X. $16.5. Dude, man, I mean, I guess that's what you get for buying something. I mean, I got mine with the half windshield, the A-arm guards, and the trailing arm guards. And so yeah, about 15 years ago I did that. I just got cut off on my phone. Evidently that video was too long. But I'll try and edit that a little bit. I'm not the best at this stuff, guys. I'm a 42-year-old man that's can barely tie his shoelaces anymore. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I'm gonna start farting around with that as soon as I get it. Hopefully I can have that all set up pretty quick. And I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I want to do, and maybe some stuff for some side-by-side. Obviously I'm gonna start out with some pretty simple stuff and go from there. And, you know, I sold my good TIG welder, well, not my good one. It's a Miller, but it was too small, my TIG welder, last winter. And in hopes of upgrading to a combo unit, a MIG and TIG. The unit I want is like $6,000. It's, you know, kind of hard to justify. You know, it's a tough one to get by the missus, you know, when you don't do this stuff full time. You know, it's really, but, you know, I got a little MIG. I've also got a big MIG. You start getting a bunch of machines, and it kind of sucks. It's nice to have one machine you can just pull out, do everything with. I mean, they're sweet machines, and you own it forever. I've had this little guy for, geez, a long time, and I don't really even get my big one out. I got like a 300, and I just don't own semis and stuff anymore, so I just don't do big fabrication, thick steel stuff anymore. All the stuff I do is maximum like 3/16, and this is plenty for it. It's small and it's nice, and as long as you're running it on 220, it's plenty strong. It don't run too good on 110. I mean, you're not doing no 3/16 on 110. I mean, you can make it do it, but it's been a good little welder, you know. But I'd like to upgrade because I want to start doing some cool stuff again, start building some headers and stuff that I used to do, custom stainless steel exhaust, and just messing around a little bit more with that stuff. But yeah, Talon's rocking along pretty good. Love the HMF exhaust sound. Heard one out there at Silver Lake, and it was sweet sounding, but it's kind of loud. You know, I'm not too sure if you were to get checked out there by the DNR, if you'd pass or not, and they can be pretty stringent out there. But I love the way these engines sound with an exhaust on them. Boy, do they sound nice. So we'll see where we go with this one here. I don't know. Got some tricks up my sleeve. Race Tober's going on at the Side-by-Side Blog guy's house, so we're gonna be up there at that. I might have to sneak a little nitrous on this thing, revisit my old school sand drag days, and because I'm not going to put a turbo on it right now, if I do turbo this one at all, but I might put a little nitrous on it. You know, that stuff's not rocket science as long as you don't get carried away. Might just you know, it looks like it'd be pretty simple to put a little airbox kit on there. And you know, maybe 20-30 horsepower. That's not a lot, but it's probably enough to surprise some stock turbos. Be right there. And I don't think I'd spray it in first gear. I think I want to wait till I'm in second gear before I sprayed it. You want to make sure that the clutches and everything you know, you definitely don't want to spray it right out of the hole. I'm not too sure how the clutches do with that torque load on it. But first gear spins enough as it is. I think second, third, you know, out there, I think I was pulling like 50 mile an hour in 300 feet. So, you know, probably, I think you get into about fourth gear out there on the rev limiter. So I gotta do a little research on that because I'm not too sure if this rev limiter cuts ignition or cuts fuel. So nitrous you definitely don't want to be spraying if you're cutting fuel. So if you're on the rev limiter and you're cutting and it cuts fuel and you're spraying, it goes lean. lean condition nitrous. Basically, it's a quick way to get a new motor. So we don't want to do that. So we could do a little research on that, and if I got to go through the trouble of putting a window switch on it for the RPMs and all that stuff like you do on like LS motors, LS Chevy based motors like 5.3, 4.8, 6.0, they do that. So you got to put a window switch on there, because if you hit the rev limiter, and you know, it doesn't happen all the time, but if you hit the rev limiter and you're spraying enough nitrous in there, that's a surefire way to detonate and bend a rod and pop a head gasket, you know, whatever. I mean, it can get pretty bad. So anyways, fellas and ladies, little update. I will take a video when I get this finished, and anything that I run along the way. It's all pretty self-explanatory. The stuff doesn't seem like it's a rocket scientist to do it. And if you're wondering where all the wiring for the winch is already here. The thick wiring is already ran up here. So I thought that was kind of neat. So you just have to reroute it down to your winch. And pretty cool, you know. I didn't really know that. I thought you'd at least have to run the wire all the way back from like the winch kit, but nope, it's already there. It's already up front and ready to go. So I'm gonna have everything ready for a winch. I should have one on when I go up to Drummond Island, but I've been going a little crazy, and the old Dodge, the old injection pump took a turd on her, and you know, them are like $1,500 to buy a quality one, and so that took some of my play money from this thing here. So I didn't buy tires for it and a winch, but I'm gonna have some cool lights when I'm stuck. Remember that, because we are gonna have some video of Drummond Island for sure. Anyway, so that's over Labor Day. We rented a cabin on Drummond Island. There'll be 7 of us up there. So stay tuned.